We're going to do some basic blocks. I'm going to start off doing them in very controlled, traditional ways of practicing them. So it's going to seem a little unrealistic, but that's okay because we're just going to go step by step. So we're going to start off with low block, and all he's going to do, let's just start by just standing here in a stance and blocking this way. So he's going to step in with his left leg and his left punch, and he's just going to punch low. And I'm just going to do this. We're just going to go boom, back and forth, maybe 10 times, and then switch, go to the other side. Very controlled. Again, no one punches like this. It's not a realistic kind of thing. This is an exercise, a drill to get us into some more realistic types of things. All we're doing is getting used to, here's the punch, what's my hand doing? This is the block. Here's the punch, my hand is doing this, and we're doing it from a stance. Okay, any questions?
Front leg driven.
Yeah.
Hi.
That's right. It won't be off the back leg. That'll be another drill we'll do off the back leg. But for this one, just front leg. Okay. Okay, so we have something in karate called a makiwara, and traditionally the makiwara is a device. There are different styles. A very popular thing that you see all the time on the internet, maybe what you see in Okinawa in the dojo actually. And these are very nice. It's a wooden post, like a 2x4, and it tapers up, and it has a leather pad on the top, and you just punch it, right? And it's flexible. So the thing about the makiwara is you will see people punching on stone, rocks, stuff like that. I don't suggest that. I think that it's important for makiwara practice to hit something hard, but something that has a little bit of flexibility to it. That's why hardwood floor is good to train on, but a concrete floor is not. Because you don't want to be arthritic when you're old because you beat the crap out of your hands when you were young. You want to do this the smart way, and I see some really wild things that people have done to their hands, and I'm like, it's one thing to be tough, but if you're going to sacrifice your health in your old age, and somebody mentioned Masayama, but Masayama had really bad arthritis in his old age, and probably from training too hard. So it's a fine line that we walk between training too hard and not training hard enough, right? You want to be strong enough and tough enough that you can make these things work, but at the same time, you don't want to be crippled in your old age because you tore your body up. So makiwara is one of those things where you have to be careful. But I always say makiwara doesn't have to be a post, a piece of wood. It can be a punching bag, right? If you get a good solid punching bag, an old punching bag is the best. Where do you hit an old punching bag? At the bottom, because the bottom is like solid, but it's still a punching bag, right? So it's not like a piece of concrete, but go find an old punching bag and hit the bottom of that bag, and it's tough. And so punching bag is makiwara. Lots of things in makiwara. Even your training partner is kind of like makiwara, because I use the term makiwara in a broad sense, something that is helping you to toughen your body. So we're doing a little bit of ki-tai here. Ki-tai is ki means energy and tai is body. So we're developing a toughness in the body. In Chinese, they have a colorful term for this. Anybody ever heard of iron body, iron shirt, iron fist, iron palm? So they have all these things based on iron something, and it's just a way of toughening your body. And toughening your body is like strengthening your body in other ways. How do you strengthen your muscles? You give them a little bit of stress. How do you tear up your muscles? You give them too much stress, right? How do you strengthen your bones? A little bit of stress. How do you break your bones? Too much stress. Same thing with toughening your body, toughening your knuckles. You do too much and you're going to injure yourself. You do just enough, put a little stress on a daily basis, and then you will start to grow stronger and tougher. If you really want to toughen your knuckles, toughen your arms, 5 minutes a day, every day, not 1 hour once a week. Much, much better to do 5 minutes every day as opposed to like 1 hour a week, because all you're going to do is make yourself sore and hurt yourself. But if you do a little bit every day, that's how you're going to start to develop tough knuckles, tough arms, those kind of things. And this practice that we do. So the next one we're going to do is a little bit more realistic, because we're going to move and we're going to block off the back leg, and we're not going to stand in that stationary position. He's not going to punch. So he's going to come in, and I'm just going to move to one side. He's going to punch the other hand, move to the other side. So now we're getting into the cat stance position here. And also, so we have two ways. We have a beginning level of this, one hand. And then we have a more intermediate level where you bring the other hand out for a parry and then a block. Parry, block. So now I have both hands in play. And what do I do next after this? Keep going, right? But for this drill, we're just going to go 1, 2, back and forth like this. And make sure you're moving. You're not just standing here, because if he wants to punch through me, he's going to punch through me. Okay? Got to get out of the way, and that's changing your weight, shifting your weight, changing your stance. It's just like we did in the beginning. This is the opening exercise, except for we're alternating back and forth. Okay? So now we want to translate this into Aikido technique. So he's going to come in with a punch. I'm going to step out here. Just move in. Real easy. We're not really trying to do this fast or hard. I just want to get this 1, 2, 3. We've done this before, so I think everyone has been here since we've done this. So moving at 1, 2, right? And the important thing is to keep moving. If I want to do 2 punches, boom, same thing. Well, you can do that if you want. You can do both. This is moving into a karate technique. This will be moving into Aikido technique. Whichever one you want to do. The important thing is that I'm going from the block into the next thing. And if you do this technique, if you go in deep and you get a good control of him, you got a kokinage. If you can't get that close to him, but you got a good punch, you got, what is that called?
Hook to the chin.
Jodan-tsuki. Right, it's just a face punch. Jodan-tsuki just means face punch, so it's a general term. Jo-dan, high level. Dan is level. Shodan, like a belt. Nidan, sandan, that's your level, right? So when we're talking about the body, Jodan, Jo is upper or high. Chu is middle. And Gei is G-E, Geidan is low level. So Geidan, Uke would be here, Chudan would be here, Jodan would be here. So Jodan-tsuki is just a general term for thrusting punch to the face. You could also say Jodan-uchi, which just means a strike to the face. That could be like that or like that. So some of these terms are very general. So anyway, we're going to go 1, down block, moving into kokinage or moving into punch, whichever one you feel. You can do both of them if you want. Just want to get used to the next step, right? Boom, whatever that is. Not doing this. Right? This is the thing that you don't want to do. What good is that going to do? It will stop one attack, but not the rest of them. But if you can do this, move into a next position, then you can go to the next thing. Because we don't want to get into this kind of training where, we're doing this. Right? This kind of stuff like this. It's okay for basic beginners just to learn the gross movements, but when people are doing this at the high levels, I don't think it's effective, because you're not going to be fighting like that. You're not going to be attacking like that. Okay, so try. Okay, the next one we're going to do is middle block. So we're going to start again in the same way. He's going to come in and step. Actually, he doesn't even have to step. If you want to go a little bit slower, he could just kind of stand there and punch, because really we're just trying to get this basic movement down. So same thing we were doing in the warm-up. So go slow. So that the hand starts, actually just bring your hand out. So if you want to start out here, it's a middle punch. Bring the hand up, goes to about right here. So this is the basic movement of the middle block, and this is what we're going to work on here. So he's going to punch.
Are you driving with the front leg?
Yeah, front leg, just like, yeah, so we'll do the same one before. The first one will be off the front leg, the second one will be off the back leg. And then you can switch, just one side at a time right now, just from stationary, very controlled. Just like this, and then later we'll do the back and forth like we did. But yes, this one will be front stance, moving off the front leg, blocking like this. Okay, very basic. Now with the back leg exercise, when we change sides, same thing we did with the low block, except now. So now we're switching sides, shifting our weight, using both hands. So you can start simply to punch and just use one hand. And it doesn't matter how fast he goes. Go ahead, punch all the way. He's not going to hit me. He's going to punch controlled. So I'm trying to learn. I'm like, okay, going slow, punch. Okay, he's going to leave it there, and just leave it there. All right, if you need to practice this way, okay, punch because you're confused in your beginning. That's fine. Go as slow as you need to go, and you go as slow as you want to go. It doesn't matter how fast he's going. Right, and then I can wait. Right, he punches. I can get my bearings, and then you can slowly get into more of a reaction time like this. You don't want to. You will get into a rhythm, and then you want to get out of the rhythm. You understand? So at first you're trying to get the rhythm, right? And doing all that stuff. Then you get the rhythm and you're like, okay, now I got to get out of the rhythm. That depends on him. What does that mean? He's not going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe at the beginning, right? But once you're really practicing, it needs to be like 1, 2, 3. Like stagger it out a little bit so that it's not like musical. You see what I'm saying? At first it's okay, because if that helps you learn, that helps you. But eventually, when you're getting better, you want to stagger and not be so predictable. So again, 1, 2, started with one hand, move into 2 hands, and remember, hands are in front of you. So he's going to come in, and it's going to be very similar to what we did already. So he's going to come in here, and I'm just going to move in just like this, okay? I'm not being too hard on him, but here. Get in close, catch him here, or here, boom, right? This is exactly the same thing we did with the low block. The low block was here, we did the punch, we did the kokenage, right? So same thing with middle block. You can come in with a punch here, okay, other side, 1 here, or you can go in and move in with the kokenage. We're doing it, this is the last technique of the night of being kind of nice. So the last one we did punch was outside middle block, right? And a lot of times that's what you see, but we also have what's called inside middle block. And this is the one we're doing in practice where we're throwing our hands out like this, right? Okay, so we're going to go right into an exercise where we're just doing this block. And just a basic exercise to get used to the drill. Here. So I got both hands should be up. He's going to step in. I'm going to move to the side, and I'm going to extend my hand like this. Okay? Do the block here. And this is just a basic exercise, so I want you to do it just like this, where he's stepping each time, and I'm stepping to the side. So I go from kamae, punch, to front stance, back to kamae. Front stance, back to kamae. Here. And what is this other hand doing? While this hand is blocking, what's this other hand doing? It's up, right, in a kamae position. Punch, so here, just back and forth like this. Right. Okay, so to add Aikido to this, side nage. Okay, so we're going to come in, he's punching, and I'm coming in here. Notice I have both hands up. And then I'm going to continue to move into him. And this is where, so I was talking about sticking to his arm. So it's not this kind of block, right? But I'm sticking, relax, right? And then I move in and I extend into him. So now I'm still having control of his body, right? If he starts to move in a different way, I can connect, I'm still connected with him and I can feel where he's going. So it's always better to be relaxed and to have a greater area of contact. And my Tai Chi teacher in Taiwan talks about 1 point versus many points. If you're tense, you only connect on 1 point. But if you're relaxed, you connect all along that place where the skin is touching, right? So tense, the focus is concentrated in one place, but relaxing, you have more control. So I'm just going to extend into him now and maintain that contact through the technique. So here, so as he comes in, see, immediately I'm starting to take his balance away from him. I'm a little surprised because it's pretty easy. So the same hand. So there's a difference. If I go here and then try to move in like this, I've lost it. You see that? So if I just do a block, and then I try to move in, I don't have it. So the other side, same thing. So I'm just blocking, and then I lose the contact, and now we're fighting. Okay? But I maintain the contact. So that's the whole point. Shifting, moving in. I didn't even actually hit the arm that much. All I did was come in, punch again, I'll show you. I just came in over top of the arm and deflected it slightly. Right? And then moving in. So very slowly, one more time, very slowly here. Connecting. Right? See that? Immediately I'm coming in. And what makes this connection strong? I'm not doing this. I'm trying to push like this. All the same things we've been learning. Right? I'm low. I have my hips tucked so that I can push him from the ground up. All those things still apply. Now, it all comes together. We'll go from the other side. Here, one. A little bit faster, same side. So again, from the beginning, taking his balance. See how easy that is? Once you wedge in there and take the balance. My Suenaka sensei, Aikido teacher, and Dong Shifu Tai Chi teacher, both of them did the wedge. You remember the wedge from Sensei? Sensei Suenaka would teach us how, like for example here, if I'm coming in, I'm wedging in, right? And jamming him up. And Sensei Suenaka would do it, and he called it the wedge. And then my Tai Chi teacher would also do this very, very similar kind of thing, where he's just locking you in and getting you like wedged. And that's where the off-balancing comes into play, okay? So very similar concepts in the Tai Chi Chuan and the Aikido, and the Karate as well. It's just very interesting how they're so similarly articulated sometimes. Okay, try that. Okay, this time he's going to come in with a roundhouse punch. I'm just going to... Okay, now there's a difference between this, go ahead, punch, same thing, and this. Okay, and that is, if I let his arm get past his shoulder, I can't go in like this. If his arm comes past the shoulder, I need to step back, okay? And watch out for that hand. So here, he punches, he catches me, he gets a pretty good punch, I gotta step back. In order for me to step forward, I have to catch him at the beginning. And so he draws back, and then I move right in, okay? That way I can catch him. You see, he draws back, and I move in. See that? I can catch him here, I can take his strength because he doesn't have the engagement of his chest and his whole shoulder muscle. So if he moves, it'll go very slow. So from here to about right here, I can move in on him and still be okay. Go slow again. If he gets to about right here, now he's strong, right? So think about in the gym when your bench press is the strongest, this position right here. You go back to here and you lose a lot of strength. You can use the gym analogy because you know when you're on a bench press, your most strength is here, right? Try to do fatigue sets. You'll be doing your fatigue sets are up here, not down here, because this is where you're really weak. And if you have dumbbells and you go all the way back to here, then it's really much more difficult. So you know that your strength is here. So if the guy's coming around and he gets all the way slowly, if he gets all the way to here and I'm still trying to move in on him, he's going to go through me if he's stronger than me. So we don't want to do that. So in that case, we would move back. That's not what we're going to do. We're going to try to move forward on this. So in this situation, as happens, either the guy really takes a swing back and you're able to catch him because you're ready, or he draws his hand back, and this may seem like a stupid thing to do, but it's been done to me 3 times, okay, where somebody draws his hand back and acts like he's going to punch. And one time he actually did throw the punch. Understand? So people do that, even though it's very foolish because you're basically telling the person what you're going to do. So if he does that, you move in, boom. Or if he goes and he takes a nice drawback, like he's going to really throw something at you and he doesn't know how to punch, you move in and catch him here. So that's the kind of situation that we're in. Again, if I'm moving in on this hand, right, this hand needs to be up because that hand is going to be coming, boom, boom, boom. I've got to be able to get inside here. So for the exercise, all we're going to do is just 1, 2, try to catch it before he gets too far, right? Also, make sure this hand is up. Where are we catching it? Right in the elbow. Okay. What are we catching it with? You can catch it with the hand up through the arm. Right. This whole area. You don't want to have a technique that relies on super sharp accuracy because you don't have that when you're in a fight. Right. You want a technique that has some leeway where you can make a mistake. If I try to hit his elbow with my hand and it slips in and I get the forearm, that's fine, right? But if I'm only thinking about the hand, and what if I go too low with the hand? Then I'm done, okay? So make sure that you have that whole, using that whole arm, and wherever it hits on your forearm, as long as you're getting before he comes too far, that's fine. And you don't have to hit hard. Just catch before he gets, right? I know sometimes I'm like, ah, when Sean or when Stephen are working with me, but you don't have to hit too hard because you will get a little bit sore there. So the most important thing is to move in and to get that hand before he gets past that point. All right? Okay, Sean. Okay, so the technique we're going to do with this one is he's going to come in with a punch on the roundhouse. Second one we do. So we're moving in here, and then I'm just going to come in and continue the movement. So here, boom. So we have a couple of different ways that we can do this. We're just going to do the basic here, but let me just say to you that when I'm here, this hand cannot just go here without thinking about what's on this side. So I can't just go straight from the shoulder and not even think about what he's doing with that hand because it could catch me. So if that hand is coming, I might, no, once with this hand, if I'm worried about that hand, I may actually do something a little different. I can catch his other shoulder here. Comes in here. If I'm worried about this other hand, I can also come up and strike him to the face and take him down this way. So the different levels we have right to the shoulder, we can take him down. We can go here with Aga Suki-age and bring my arm up to kind of guard from here. I can also come in, if the hand is coming at me and I really need to get it out of the way, I can come in and push it this way. What I want you to do is just elbow, shoulder, and we're not going to worry about the other hand today. Just to do it the basic way, just be aware that this is a basic execution of this technique that has the weakness of, got to worry about that other hand. So just be aware of that because later we'll work on the other variations. What I want you to figure out now is how to take his balance using his arm and his shoulder. And if you move in on that strike, boom, and you cut down, it should be easy. It's cut, like a sword cut. One more time. Here, you can step, and you don't have to. Cut it like this. For beginners, do the same side. For beginners, I think it actually might be easy to take that step. Because then it's like really cutting with a sword. Okay, chop.